Hello everyone, a very good morning to all. So this is our sixth class on your first unit of semester third syllabus of inorganic chemistry, that is chemistry of elements of first transition series. So we were discussing about the binary compounds and coordination complexes of different elements of 3D series of D block. So we have already discussed about scandium, titanium, and vanadium. And in continuation with that, in this video, we'll be starting with our next element in the series with atomic number 24. So we'll be starting with chromium. As we all know, as we have already discussed, that chromium is having exceptional electronic configuration of 3d5 4s1, as there are 5 electrons in 3d subshell in place of and 1 electron in 4s subshell in place of the expected electronic configuration, which was 3d4 4s2. So this exceptional electronic configuration for chromium the is due to the presence of is due to the very less energy difference in both these subshells, and due to the driving force here for this exceptional configuration is the exactly half filled D subshell, which is attained via having 5 electrons in 3D in comparison to having 4 electrons in 3D subshell. So that is why chromium is having exceptional electronic configuration. So next we are discussing the binary compounds and coordination complexes of chromium. So this is the electronic configuration of chromium. Chromium never occurs in free state. It is always found in the combined state in nature. Chief ore of chromium is chromite, having formula FeCr2O4, which can also be called as iron chromate. Now the extraction of chromium is from chromite is cannot be done in a simple way. It takes number of steps for extracting out pure chromium out of this ore. So firstly, in the first step, what is done is concentration of ore by gravity separation method is done, that the ore itself is concentrated by the way of gravity separation method. Gravity separation method, as the name indicates, uses the mass and density thing based upon the gravity, that the heavier particles are separated based upon the gravity. So that is the gravity separation process. In the second step, what is done is concentrated ore is mixed with sodium carbonate, and roasting of those two things is done in the free supply of oxygen as per this reaction, that this is chromite ore, this is sodium carbonate, that both these things are roasted in the presence of free supply of oxygen, and we get the conversion of iron chromate to sodium chromate. So here this obtained sodium chromate is extracted with water because it is soluble in water, and the second component which is formed along with is iron oxide, that is Fe2O3, which is insoluble in water. So this extracted sodium chromate is then treated with H2SO4 in the next step, and we get sodium dichromate from sodium chromate. So this dichromate remains in solution because this is soluble in aqueous medium, in acidic medium, and the second component which is formed along with is sodium sulfate. This is very less soluble and this is crystallized out. So this dichromate is further in the next step is heated with ammonium chloride to give ammonium chromate. Next we have the formation of ammonium dichromate. So this is ammonium dichromate which is formed with the reaction of sodium dichromate and ammonium chloride. And when this ammonium dichromate is strongly heated, it leads to the formation of Cr2O3, where chromium is in plus 3 oxidation state, which is green in color. This is an oxide of chromium with chromium in plus 3 oxidation state, along with the formation of water. And this chromium 3 oxide is further reduced with the help of aluminothermic process in the presence of aluminium. Aluminothermic reduction of this Cr2O3 is performed to get chromium. From the chromium obtained from here is still not pure. It is further purified electrochemically. It contains impurities of carbon, iron, and chromium carbide. So if it is further purified by electrolytic process, and after that we can obtain 99% pure chromium. Next we have the oxidation states of chromium vary from 0 to 6 as the maximum number of electrons present in the chromium is, so here as per the electronic configuration after argon there are 6 electrons. So as the chromium belongs to the group of first 5 elements, so where the maximum oxidation state is the total number of electrons present in 3d and 4s subshell, and minimum oxidation state is the total number of electrons present in 4s subshell. So minimum oxidation state for chromium is +1 and maximum oxidation state is going to be +6. So its oxidation states vary from 0 to 6, and it is having the most stable oxidation state for chromium is +3 with electronic configuration of 3d3. Now we come to the binary compounds of chromium. Binary compounds again include halides and oxides, which we are going to discuss. So first binary compound which we are taking up is CrO3. Here in CrO3, chromium is in +6 oxidation state. This is orange-red colored compound. This is very strong oxidizing agent. It can be obtained by the reaction of potassium dichromate. This is a very important compound again of chromium, where chromium is in its +6 oxidation state. So it is obtained from potassium dichromate. This oxide is obtained from potassium dichromate. When it is treated with H2SO4, that we get the formation of CrO3. It is thermally unstable above its melting point and decomposes above its melting point as 2Cr2O3 and oxygen. So here the oxidation state of chromium has been reduced to +3 from +6. These are the very important reactions, that how CrO3 reacts with water, how it behaves with alkalis, how it behaves with acids. So with water, what happens is when CrO3 is treated with water, an acid is obtained, acid of chromium is obtained, which is called as chromic acid with formula H2CrO4. With alkali, or we can say with alkali compounds, chromates are formed. It leads to the formation of chromates with formula Na2CrO4, and with acids it gives us dichromates, that is Na2Cr2O7. So chromates are, sodium chromate is yellow in color and dichromate is orange in color. So once the medium is alkaline, in alkaline medium, this CrO3, when it is treated with alkali, it gives us the formation of chromates, which when the solution is made acidic after that, and then the conversion of chromate to dichromate takes place, that is the yellow coloration changes to orange coloration. So these three reactions are very important these can be asked in your exam, that what happens when CrO3 is treated with water, what happens when it is treated with alkali, what happens when it is treated with acidic medium. It gives the specific reaction with HCl, that it leads to the formation of chromyl chloride with formula CrO2Cl2. The oxidation state remains same, that is +6, but the compound is changed now. With HCl, it gives us chromyl chloride. So CrO3 is a very strong oxidizing agent, that it can lead to the explosion with organic acid. It oxidizes the organic compounds with explosion, and it can also oxidize many inorganic moieties, like it can oxidize tin 2 to tin 4, iron 2 to iron 3, which are very basic oxidation reactions. So this CrO3 can act as a strong oxidizing agent. Now we have discussed that with alkalis it forms chromates, and with acids it forms dichromate. These are the basic structure for chromate and dichromate. Here two oxygens are present as doubly bonded, tetrahedral structure is there, and two are having negative charge. Here the formula is CrO4 2 negative. It is 2 negative here in place of single negative. Here also it is 2 negative, Cr2O7 2 negative in case of dichromate. In case of dichromate, if we compare both these structures, what is there is that one oxygen is present as bridge in between the two chromiums. Let me come back to the reaction of CrO3 with HCl. It leads to the formation of chromyl chloride. This is a very important test for the qualitative detection of fluoride ions. We have already done in your BSc first year inorganic practical course, where we do the detection of fluoride ions based upon the chromyl chloride test, which is test is called as chromyl chloride test, where this, when treated with HCl, gives us the formation of deep red coloration, which is due to the formation of chromyl chloride. This chromyl chloride is deep red in color. Due to that, the presence of chloride ion is detected when treated with CrO3. When we put CrO3 in the solution, in the inorganic solution, wherein we want to detect the presence of chloride ion, it leads to the formation of chromyl chloride, and if red color appears, that means chloride is indicated there. Further, similar to CrO3, one more compound, that is dichromate, is also a strong oxidizing agent in acidic medium and gets itself converted to Cr3 plus. Here chromium is again in +6 oxidation state, and it gets converted to, after its oxidizing action, to the most stable oxidation state of chromium, that is +3. So it can oxidize or many important reagents, that is it can oxidize iodide to iodine, sulfite to sulfate, iron 2 to iron 3, SO2 to SO4 2 negative, HCl to Cl2. So also this dichromate, or we can say potassium dichromate, which we have used in our laboratories, which is a very important laboratory reagent while doing the volumetric estimation of different compounds like ferrous and iodide. We used this potassium dichromate as one of the reagent. Next are the compounds of chromium, the binary compounds of chromium in +3 oxidation state. As we have already discussed, that +3 is the most stable oxidation state of chromium. It is highly stable in acidic media as well, but in basic medium, the +3 oxidation state compounds get converted to +6. Further, if this chromium chloride in +3 oxidation state, that is CrCl3, is prepared by the direct reaction of chromium with chloride with chlorine gas, and this leads to the formation of reddish violet solid, which further dissociates on heating beyond 1300 degrees Celsius. This CrCl3 is solid compound which is stable up to 1300 degrees Celsius, and if it is heated above 1300 degrees Celsius, it decomposes to chromous compound of chloride, that is chromous 2 chloride. So the dihalides, next we come to the dihalide, the only dihalide possible for here dihalides are having general formula CrX2. So these are obtained via the reduction of trihalides of chromium at high temperatures. So but these dihalides are not very much stable. These easily get oxidized to +3 oxidation state, that is trihalides, if not kept in inert atmosphere. If these are not kept in inert atmosphere, these get oxidized by the aerial oxidation and get converted themselves to the trihalides of chromium. Next we come to the coordination complexes. As we have already discussed that for chromium the most stable oxidation state is +3. So most of the coordination complexes exist in +3 oxidation state for chromium. Uh, and the geometry is generally octahedral with coordination number of 6, as the +3 oxidation state of chromium is having D3 electronic configuration, that is 3 electrons are present in the d subshell. So these are all paramagnetic, these complexes are, but these can be neutral, cationic or anionic complexes based upon their formula. So the first complex in +3 oxidation state which we are going to discuss is the Hedda aqua complex. This is a very important complex, as far as the +3 oxidation state of chromium is concerned. This is having octahedral symmetry with 6 water molecules surrounding the chromium 3 positive charged ion. Next we have the halogen complexes. The chromium chloride exists in the form of an hexaaqua complex. Here this exists in 3 crystalline forms that where which differ from each other in the number of ionizable chlorines. Here all the chlorines are out of the coordinations of here, so the all the 3 chlorines are ionizable in the first complex. In the second complex, it is penta-aqua and one chlorine is present inside the sphere. So two ionizable chlorines are there, and in case of third complex, only one ionizable chlorine is there. Similarly, for chromium, hexaamine and oxalato complexes are also known. Amine is a neutral ligand while oxalate is a bidentate ligand, and also it is having 2 negative charge when it is used as ligand. Next we have complexes of chromium in +2 oxidation state. Hexaaqua complex of chromium also exists in the form of +2 oxidation state, which is ashy blue color complex with water. It is served as one of the strongest reducing agents in aqueous solution because chromium is having a strong tendency to get oxidized to chromium 3 positive. So it acts as a very strong reducing agent and itself get oxidized to chromium 3, as chromium 3 is the most stable oxidation state for chromium. Another +2 oxidation state complex for chromium, which is known as the chromium 2 acetate complex. Here this complex is prepared via the reaction of chromium 2 compounds with sodium acetate in inert atmosphere. When these two moieties are reacted in inert atmosphere, we get the formation of acetate complex of chromium, wherein 4 acetate ions are present and 2 water molecules are present. This is a very important structure for this complex, that 2 chromium are present in the complex, which are surrounded by 4 oxygens each from the acetate ligand, and 1 oxygen is which is surrounding it is coming from the water molecule, and the 6th position of the octahedral geometry is occupied by the chromium itself. As here this acetate ion is also a bidentate ligand, so it binds the chromium two chromiums via from the 2 positions via the 2 oxygens of its complex. So this is how this is the arrangement of bonds is there in case of this complex. So this structure is very important.